Hey, hi guys, welcome back. I left off with with last time I left off was with completion of a successful completion of the Clusterware upgrade. Now I'm going to focus on the upgrade for the software as well as an upgrade for the database. So basically, in terms of performing oops, preparation upgrade steps. Okay. So in terms of performing an upgrade on the Oracle software, basically what I'm saying is that you perform an upgrade on your nodes. So what you'd be doing is you would, let's say you have, this is basically okay. These are just some of the preparation steps that you do that you'll be running. You run the to check the status on your instances or your nodes. You run this command, the clusterfly stage p db inst and then n for the node list, and then d for Oracle home, and then you basically just both together as many details as you can. Basically, this is just just figure out how your nodes are going you know actually going through with the installation. So basically, what I'll do now is I have a short demo here. What I'm gonna do is I'm already in this home. So what I'll do is I will just again I'm running all these commands from my grid home. So I'll just run. Let me do this again. Run Clusterware and Clusterware are interchangeable. So run Clusterware stage p db space inst. I don't have any nodes, so I'm not gonna do that. Oracle home. I'm not. You know what? I just want to get this command to run. Again, this one is going to open, and basically what should happen is that it should give you a reading for the status of your individual nodes. That's the reason why you have a node list here. Basically for the n character. I'm just gonna again. Basically, I'm not gonna. This is not again. This aspect of is not like the demo aspect is not important. It's just more about basically just again I'm performing all these commands from my grid home. So basically I'm just showing you exactly where to go to for you to be able to run these commands. And if you were wondering, okay, so how do I what is my home? Basically, it's just when you initially install the grid software. Basically, like I have my grid software, my database software installed in my D drive. So basically, this is what all the installations are. So if you have basically it's just gonna again. This is where this batch file is gonna be located inside of your the installation home for your grid software, and installation home for let's say you have something you wanna again I don't think this applies too much to database setup, but basically especially for working with React, you have to do some perform some upgrade, and you definitely need to have you definitely have to refer to this location to run this batch file and do some modification necessary to get your environment up and running. So what I'm trying to say is so basically in terms of the performing a software upgrade, going from let's say 10G release 2 to Oracle Software 10G release 2 to Oracle Software 11G release 2. Basically, when you perform an upgrade, you have to have a that it's gonna Oracle is gonna prompt you to it's gonna tell you, okay, you have this one component that's up and running. That component is called a database, the data vault. This component has to be disabled before you can complete the database upgrade. So basically, you just have to shut this component down. You can I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you more details on how to do it in upcoming slides. Again, the database, the data vault. You know, I did some research on this. Basically, you know, again, Oracle Ash basically just you know gets you to shut this down initially. Um, and basically, you know, I'm gonna cover what it does in more detail later on. I'm not gonna get into it now because I can't think right now. Um, basically, you know, again, I'm just performing individual software installations on the existing nodes. You know, upgrades on performing individual software upgrades on the individual nodes. So after I'm done with the upgrades on the individual nodes, then the command that I would run is the post installation script that I would run is so basically again again a brief sort of rundown of what I've covered so far. Is basically first thing you do is you figure out which the status of your nodes. That's number one. And basically you run this command. You know, once you run this command, you figure out what the status is, and then you disable the data vault. You disable data vault, and then you perform the software installation. So by software installation, of course, what I'm saying is that basically you just again you would have to like typically what you do is you just you go into this location, and you would just go into if I'm on 11G database, then I would just do a setup, and some of the installation screen would actually just basically what it would do is I'm not sure if it's gonna be I'm not sure if this is gonna launch fast enough, but typically these installation windows will just basically just if you already have a nodes that are recognizable by the Oracle software, then it's gonna basically allow you to basically just do an installation on those nodes. Basically do software installation or software upgrades on those existing nodes, and then you will run the root.sh afterward to on those individual nodes. And then so this is you would run this root.sh that's on Linux environment. Windows environment is the same thing as the root, but you just get rid of that sh. I'm gonna close this again. You know what? I'm gonna open it and then maybe I can refer to you later on. So this is what I was saying. So again, what this window when you get here is gonna say, okay, it's gonna ask you if you want to be on the forum. This is fine. Again, if you're part of Oracle, OTN, Oracle, I think okay, OPN, Oracle Partner Network, then you definitely have an email address and a password to log in. But since I'm not, basically I just want to remain informed about any of the ongoing sort of really nitty-gritty stuff as far as the Oracle software. So I'm gonna click yes. So basically here, like what you do is you just be able to just install the database software. So again, this is where if you have rack configured, then it's gonna the different nodes are gonna show here. So you would be able to click on rack and then select the different nodes, and then the next window would actually just take you to the different installation the different maybe the paths for those software that you've been installing. So what I do is I will close this, and then okay. So basically, post installation, you would have to run this root script. And in terms of in terms of again, so what I was really trying to say all along, and I should have been clear, is that basically, so the title of my of this slide is just pre-11G databases on 11G R2 software. So what I'm trying to say is exactly just that. You can have a 10G database, you can have an 11G database, you can have a 9i database, you can have all those different databases running on 11G R2 grade software. That is possible. That's why I have here. You can be done, but you just have to make sure that you run these commands basically to be able to identify the different nodes, and check on the statuses. And but the thing is, in terms of using pre-11G databases on 11G R2 grid software, you just have to pin those nodes to the grid 11G R2 grid software, and then basically how to pin those nodes. You just have to run this command, the CRSCTL pin CSS node list from and you would be issuing this command from the bin directory under the grid home. And basically you would just have to run we would just have to run this command on one of the nodes to be able to basically just have this take have this basically just you know be recognized by all different nodes. Just run this command once. You pin all your different nodes to be able to use the 11G R2 grid software for those nodes. And again, going back as I only said 9i, but just it is possible. Just do some a little bit more research to figure out just how far back it can go. Oracle version 7. I wouldn't just advise you to just again. I'm not sure how many people actually do have Oracle version 7 still running the environments, but then again, just if you have a really unique environment like 7 or 8. Just make sure that it is possible to pin your nodes, those nodes into the grid software, the 11G R2 grid software. Post an upgrade. And so now I'm going to cover the database upgrade steps. So what I've done so far is I've covered the Oracle Clusterware upgrade, the and then the ASM upgrade, and then I went over basically the different configurations you can have. You can have an Oracle, you can have an Cluster, you can have an ASM, and you can upgrade those separately. But when you get to 11G R2, you would have a grid infrastructure software. A grid infrastructure, 11G R2 grid software, and you'll be able to again most environments do not go beyond 11G R2. So that's also where I'm gonna stop. But basically, when you have, I've just gone over the Clusterware aspects of the database upgrade and the software aspect of the database upgrade. Now I'm going to cover the database upgrade, the actual database upgrade. So basically, to do a database upgrade, you would issue basically there are two methods to perform a database upgrade. You can either use a DBUA, database upgrade assistant, or you can also run the you can also do it manually by using a set of scripts and run those scripts on individual nodes. So again, so you can just think about the easiest way to think of this is if you have a one database, then basically running a set of scripts would be okay, because it's just that's something that can be easily done. But if you have multiple databases, it's advised, or it actually makes more sense to just run a DBUA to go to the DBUA and upgrade to database upgrade assistant. So what I'm gonna do now is I have this window open already. So what I'll do is I'm gonna copy this. Then so again, DBUA should be in your database, your Oracle home, localhost slash bin. So I'm gonna cd into that cd into localhost slash bin. I'm gonna give it to my C drive, and then what I do is I'm gonna run dbua. Again, dbua stands for Database Upgrade System. So what I do is while the DBA is being set up, I'm also gonna cover like another and how to do it manually. So basically for again, yeah. So basically for the to perform the upgrade manually, what you do is you would go into the admin. You go into let me make sure I have this right. So you go into Oklahoma. That's number one. You go into RDBMS, and then you go into RDBMS, and you go into admin. This is where you would find all the different set of files. This is a very important location in terms of performing in terms of that information for Okra. You find you can be able to get information for how to do this gather statistics. This is what is the statistics are located for that operation, and also again this is where the upgrade scripts are located perform upgrade for the database. So I'm gonna minimize this. The database upgrade system is launched. So click next. So basically, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna show me a list of the databases that I currently have installed on my desktop. So I'm gonna give it a second. There you go. So these are different databases that I have installed on my desktop. So I'll be able to upgrade any of these databases. Or basically, if you're in your environment, you'll be able to upgrade any database that's listed. And basically, you just have to provide the credentials you will log in as system and be able to upgrade. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna minimize this. So a good thing about using DBUA for database upgrade basically is that it's lack of work. Basically, again, if you have multiple databases, then basically it's gonna make the process seamless. As opposed to just running multiple scripts. Again, this is just one of many scripts that should be running if you were to do it manually. This is also better for enabling and disabling different components that are not needed for database upgrade. Again, so basically one of the components that I'm gonna cover just in a little bit is the data vault, and basically how to disable that with DBU as opposed to how you do it manually. Again, they're different. Again, DBO is a graphical tool, and basically, let's say you're running a Linux, you're in the Linux environment, you want to run DBUA. Basically, how would you run DBUA again? Uh, these so DBUA and all those systems run fine when you're in Windows 11 because it's the configuration for the it's just the display configuration that allows Windows to just run these different configuration systems. But if you have a Linux environment, you have to do some configuring inside of your Linux environment, like do some change the display, maybe have an X server running in your Linux environment for you to be able to basically use the display properties for the display display property the displaying the ability to display that's just native to the Windows environment. And also with using DBA, you can actually upgrade the listeners. So basically with DBUA, as you are upgrading your databases, you would have to also upgrade. You can do this. It's easier to just go ahead and upgrade your listener. It doesn't make it is possible for you to have a listener to not go to with upgrade for a listener, but it only makes sense for you to go ahead and make the upgrade for your listener. And basically, in terms of configuring your listener for your cluster, basically once you configure your listener for your cluster, what would happen is that the listener would basically individual listeners will be assigned to the different nodes in your cluster. So that's one of the benefits of using DBUA. You can just set one cluster wide listener and then because you're using DBOA, the Open software is going to be able to assign individual listeners to different nodes. And so, in terms of basically just performing an upgrade manually, for an individual database, again, you just have to go into that directory, the Oklahoma or DBMS admin directory, and then you have to run. This is the first script that you would run. Basically, this script is actually going to check if you have the adequate space requirement for the database object component. This is really important. So, in terms of the database upgrade, it's not really about the size of the database. It's really about how many components do you have in that database. So if you have a lot of components, if in a 10G database, and you don't have many components in 12 in 12 in 12 in 11G. So you have many components in 10G, and they have they eat up a lot of memory space, and you don't have it in you don't have as many components in the 11G. And basically the 10G is going to take longer. But again, that's also it also works in reverse. If you have a lot of components in 11G, and you have smaller components in 10G, then 11G is going to take more time. So it's really not about the size of that. It's about how many components do you have, and basically just and how much memory space are they taking up. And so basically, once you run this command, you'll be able to check the space requirement. Then you would issue. It's gonna actually. This command actually is actually gonna advise you. It's gonna sort of like, if it finds that you cannot afford, you don't have enough space, and you have to basically just clean out your recycle bin. Basically, it's gonna recommend for you to do just that, to just purge your recycle bin. So you would have to run this command to just clear up space for you to be able to go to the upgrade. So first, step one is you check if you have enough size. Step two, you go to the recommendation and you clear memory space. And then the next thing that you should do is you actually run this command to execute dbms stat. Is you actually executing this procedure. So what you're doing here is you are going to be gathering stats. Basically, you're just gathering stats for different schemas inside of for both the system and for the software components. So you're just gathering how much what's the size of these schemas. What's the size of these different basically components? What's the size of the system schema? So what you're doing here, you're just doing more of the you're gathering statistics to kind of get a sense of if your environment will be able to handle basically not again. So you're already committed to going through an upgrade, but you want to get stats on how long this stats will actually tell you how long it's going to take for the upgrade to go through. And it's going to just again for your own sake, you be able to review this information to get a sense of what the standing is for your Oracle database. The current standing or the status for the Oracle database. And then in terms of disabling the database components, you have there are different ways to do it. If you're on Windows, as opposed to if you're in Linux or Unix environment, you do this. So if you are in this is a screenshot from the Oracle, I think it's 11GR2's the installation guide. Basically, what you just do is you just follow your steps. One is if you are in again, what we're doing is we're doing an upgrade for the database. The first thing you do is if you're in a Unix environment, you would just basically just shut down the database, stop the listener. Again, this is just step one. Shut down the database and stop the listener. And here, if you look at here, this is not important right now, but this is just a script for that has to do with enterprise manager. So again, this is just what you're doing. You just stopping a lot of your number of your services. But if you're in a rack environment, you would just shut down each database by running this command, this srvctl stop database, and then the default, and then the database name after that. Um, and then again, so what you're doing is okay, ASM thing. So in Windows, you would just run. You also run again with Windows. These same commands apply. So with Windows, you just have to be in the bin directory. So it's going to be oracle/bin directory, and then you can run this command, the emctl stop the database console. Basically, what you did is you'll be doing on Windows as well. So here you would also you would just do a server control stop, and you stop the listener from this list of services. Or what you can just do is you can just go into the services. Again, this is one of the benefits of using Windows. Well, basically, you can just have the system that's up and running, and I just want to stop it. And when I upgrade, I can just right click on it and then stop it. That's Windows. So you can basically you see just step one. You start the database. You start the database. That's number one. You start the listener. That's number two. You start the database control console. That has to do with the enterprise manager. And then number two is you have to disable the database vault. Basically, how you do it on Linux, basically you just go into this directory, the Oracle home /admin/lib, and then you would just run this command, the dvns go off that over. Again, this is the escalated talk, and this is sort of advanced material. So hopefully I'll be able to cover this one of these days. But then again, so just run these commands on Linux to be able to turn that about off. Again, the whole point is of running these commands is you want to be able to shut down these services, get rid of that about to be able to perform a database upgrade. In terms of the Windows environment, what you would have to do is you go into an Oracle home/bin, actually, and then you would rename you rename this process this file actually to you just rename it to whichever name you like. That's the way to shut down the database vault in Windows. So basically here what you do is you would then after you shut down, okay, so just to recap of what I done. So I shut down the database, I shut down the database control console, and I shut down the listener. And then I also shut down I just turned off the data vault. I also shut down the data vault. And basically what I'm doing is I'm actually in shutting down the data vault, what I also did is I renamed the data vault. In Windows, right here, and the data vault on the Linux environment. I just shut it off. So let me do this. There we go. Okay. So then what you do is you would log in to the database. No, again you already logged in, so I take that back. So you would just restart the database. So you would, again, first thing that you're doing, you're going to start up the database control console, get your enterprise manager up and running. You restart your listener, and then you can then restart your database. Again, you follow these steps. If you want all these steps, one after another. If you were doing this, on an individual database, or if you're working if you're working. It's not really individual, again, because what you're doing is even though it's a live configuration, the truth is the chances are you're gonna have you're gonna be able to run this one command and be able to have access to a different database, as opposed to basically having to log into SQL Plus and run a different command. So again, this is just one. This is the benefit of having the server controller is basically just one access point, as opposed to just having to access just enter log into different SQL plus um, um, into SQL, the SQL application for multiple databases. So basically, for Windows, same thing. You would just restart the database. Again, you can run the same command. Again, also in terms of starting up database control console. Again, this is just a process. But you would run the same command, and also with the listener, you can, again, as I just showed you, you can start the listener by running this command start, or anything listening, or this start listening. You can just do it manually, as I just showed you earlier, by clicking on the listener service. And basically, if you're running rack, basically you just have to go through these commands, on individual nodes. That's if you have that configured. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope to see you guys next time.